one. The scene opens this evening in Desperate Dan's. Edwin's been sitting here for about 25 minutes. The smell of coffee flowing in his nostrils. The psychosomatic effect of the aroma making him believe that the caffeine is helping him stay awake and alert while he types away at the keyboard. This evening he started by working a little bit more in his profile, going through feedback from past customers, going from feedback from a few retained customers, repeat clients, in an effort to make his profile easier to read, more attractive, more comprehensive to their needs, in an effort to increase his own revenue. And he followed that up by, well, getting to work. So first, I will make a intelligence finance. This is for the actual resources and business venture. See how well. See if he's made any improvements. Okay. Before he starts his work, he catches like one thing that could be made better. Relatively quick fix. He adds a small little something to it, something decorative that applies to what he does, what his work is, and begins his work. Seeing that he has about 5 clients this evening, he starts from the one that should take the least time to the one that should take the most time. And I'm just going to make one roll to determine how many of those 5 clients he takes care of right now. Book learning specialty will apply here. Or not. Or not. Wow. Probably 1. All right. So as he starts his work for the evening, he realizes that the issue is a lot more complicated than he was led to believe. And by the time 8:30 comes around, his coffee cup is nearly empty, and he's just barely finished the work for the single client. Meanwhile, in another part of the city,
a large woman begins to stir. The dream's not affecting her nearly as much. She's relieved. Sin gets up moseying around, preparing for the night ahead, for what she'll be doing. She heads to one of the mirrors, taking a few of her knives with her, uh, just to get them ready, make sure she can get them nice and stashed away. After all, she wouldn't be anywhere without her knife. She looks on the mirror and finds a note from her apartment mate. She looks, kind of turns her head at the wording that Edwin used. Just kind of shakes her head. God, my brother's such a nerd. She takes the note and kind of slips it in her pocket. She gets ready and makes her way to her bike, unlocking the bike's steering column and making her way down in the direction of Separate Dan's or Desperate Dan's cafe. It takes a few moments. The street lights are fairly bright. It's a dark night otherwise. She makes her way to the cafe, taking an MP3 player of sorts and some earphones, putting them in, turning it to the radio station that she can connect to. It's a nifty little gadget that doesn't really cost too much. It's cheaply made. It's quite honestly a piece of crap, but it plays music. She heads inside the cafe, ordering a coffee.
When you turn to face the attendant at the counter, who takes your order, out of the corner of your eye, you realized you passed somebody who was already standing in line. Oh, hi, you made it.
Yeah. The traffic wasn't too bad today.
Good. And another attendant's handing him a cup of coffee. I'll be sitting back here. I got a table, and he heads back.
Sen will go back that direction towards the table, and she'll sit down, kind of having the earphones draped over her ears so she can listen to music and Edwin at the same time.
When she gets over there after getting a cup of coffee or something, he's quickly plunking away at his keyboard. Oh, son of a bitch. Why do people recklessly download garbage? Fuck. It'll just be a few more seconds. I just gotta. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh fuck. All right, and then out. Delete. Cool. And you, because I mean, it's not too difficult to hear. It's not difficult to hear the sounds of a laptop shutting down. A few seconds after that, a few moments after that, I should say, he shuts his laptop down, closes the lid, and slips it back into his laptop bag, securing it. I honestly wasn't sure if he'd show up tonight.
Nonsense. I haven't been up this way in a while.
Thanks. Look, I didn't. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to come off rude. At the palace place. I just. I don't want to lose someone else. You know, you've always looked out for me. You helped raise me. You know, I figure I owe you nothing less.
She nods. I understand. Though you didn't tell me if you needed a ride home or not.
Oh,
but I kind of figured,
thanks
well,
for the
if
guilt trip.
If you, well, no, I kind of laughed because I figured if you wanted one, you would have asked. So, if you needed one, sorry.
Ooh. Look who's getting a lot more polite and shit. His accent slips from like well-spoken East Coaster to a little more urban Massachusetts, ever so slightly. It tends to happen once in a while. You've noticed. No, seriously. I mean, I was afraid that I was starting to push you away by being too naggy. You know, I don't want to boss you around. I mean, but I don't know. I've been trying to come to a solid conclusion after the events of a night or two ago. And I'm literally torn. I'm literally fucking torn. And he leans in and lowers his voice, grabbing his coffee in one hand. Because I'm literally about ready to just say the fucking hell with every single kindred in the city and just do what's good for me. Because they're all fucking monsters. Every single fucking one of them. Or at least the majority. I mean,
Sin kind of listens.
and that does not really sound like Edwin. Like, it sounds like it doesn't come out smoothly. There's more than a little bit of like hesitation, and if regret could have a sound. I'm not gonna make you roll for that because you could probably figure it out. I mean,
Yeah. Sin nods. I suppose they do what they think they have to.
is that why you did some of the things that you did in the past? Because you had to?
Or I thought I had to anyway. Whether I did or didn't, oh, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah. Can't take it back.
Then again, I can't ignore it either, can I? You're right about that, at least.
No, you can't ignore it. Not all the time. This has got me so fucking pissed off. It seems like too many fucking bloodsuckers in this city. All they ever think about is when they're dealing with some kind of problem is kill it. You know, kill the evil invader people, just murder them all. You know, even if you don't know for sure, just kill them anyway. Kill them all. And he's talking low when he's saying this too. Kind of leaning toward the table a bit. All they ever fucking think about is killing.
I haven't been around too many people the last few months. Some of them seem better than others, but I don't know.
That's why
Those flowery fucks. The hell they call themselves? I don't even know. I can't remember. The fucking bullfighters, matadors, whatever.
Toreadors.
Well,
It's about
same
the same.
difference.
It's the same thing. It's an odd word. But that's...
I don't know. It seems like all they care about is how you're dressed. But maybe that's just me.
That's... What I'm getting at is that's why some of what I said to you, that's why I said it. Because if others want to just give in to impulse and just feed that thing in the back of your head and let it take over eventually, then who am I to stop them from committing suicide? If it means doing what's right, what's actually morally right, you know? I don't want to see you give in to that. I don't want to see you get lost to that. I've never seen it myself, but I've been told what happens as a result. You know, I mean, us being kindred, that's not really who we are. Who we are is who we were as human beings with some slightly different methods of going about existing. You know, I don't want to see you be defined by that beast. You know, creaking around every fucking corner.
And Sen kind of, her ears perk up, and she kind of reaches and kind of puts the earphone in. And is like, wait, this. And she listens for a moment, a song on the radio, and then her head kind of turns to the side a bit, as though she caught something in the song that started playing. And
were you even listening to anything I just said?
Yeah. And right after you stopped talking, this song. She kind of passes it the other earbud to Edwin. And he'll probably hear the second half of that song that John Burke posted, which I don't know if you can.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I will.
Okay. Well, I can post up the lyrics. The lyrics are weird.
Right?
Yeah, probably the second half of it, or cause her attention is caught by the first part. We're talking about temporary blood, and it's playing. Watching me like a camera, overexposure, and this sounds weird. And it kind of goes through the chorus and the rest of the verses.
And it's the second half, right?
Right, mostly the second half. Why would someone write a song about blood not lasting very long? That's weird.
Kinky fetishes.
I guess. I don't know.
Weird fetishes.
I guess it was weird enough that it just caught my attention. But yeah, I get what you mean. The being a I still haven't decided if I like what we are.
Then
I haven't decided if it's a blessing or a curse. I'm leaning more towards curse.
does it matter?
At this point, honestly, no.
You're living this way or existing this way, whatever the fuck. This is what you are now. The most important thing is not losing who you are, because there's a clear difference between who and what. You know, if I don't know, just I was lucky that I didn't completely fucking lose it because of that fucking asshole. I felt so mad. I felt so mad. Like, I was so mad that I literally almost felt my own blood, like, begin to boil damn near. And when he said that, like, it might make you have to do a double take. Now, you're still listening in one ear, right?
Yeah, she's still
Okay.
listening in one ear.
So is Edwin. Like, he doesn't have it fully in his ear, but it's like partially. Go ahead and roll a perception alertness.
I think that's 3. Yes.
Standard.
4 dice. Ooh. 4 dices.
4 dice. Holy crap. Coming up in the world. Oh. Yeah. About the time that the song ends, I'm guessing, because I don't think it's probably not that long. About the time the song ends, what you really catch, like you catch it a lot more prominently, like you heard it louder than before. But when he says, he almost felt his own blood boil. You might find that odd that he used that choice of words, because it resonates back to what Brock told you. The whole Brujah anger thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Sin kind of looks. Actually, I know exactly what you mean. It's part of being, part of being a part of the big old family, at least as far as I know. Sounds familiar, though. I know what you mean.
I don't think it has anything to do with any one different type of bloodline. I think it's just what we are. I think that's the reason. I don't think one group is more prone to becoming easily angered than another. I think we all have the possibility to be unhinged lunatics. And I don't mean people suffering mental illness. I mean, honest to God, psychopathic lunatics. And at that, he, with his arms still on the table, he takes another drink of his coffee. I just wanted to try to calm the situation down. I mean, you tell somebody that they're now, some blood drinking monster, and you talk about killing them or hurting them or whatever the hell when they're already freaking out. You try to get them to calm down to try to minimize the noise because a neighbor might have heard all this shit or some of this shit, and nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cared. And he kind of takes one of his arms at that, moving his coffee to his other hand, and reaches across the table and grabs one of Sin's and kind of squeezes it a little bit. Whether it's a blessing or a curse, one thing is true. Only the ones amongst the society who work together because they're stronger in numbers are going to really survive. And he lets his hand linger a little bit and then just kind of releases hers, picking his coffee back up.
It's almost impossible to do alone. Well, I suppose it's possible, but why? Why not just work together? I don't know, be peaceable. So we're not annoying people and making them get.
My point is, at least for you, you're not alone. If there's something that you're going through that's difficult, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to just abandon you. You know? If there's something difficult one of us are dealing with, we're stronger together. And it might actually show the rest of them that, hey, one of us can trust another. You know, set an example, remember who we are, and not let what we are override that.
Sin takes a drink of her coffee. And she nods. Yeah.
You know, I didn't mean to nag. I was kind of scared. I don't know if I'll ever be able to see Dad while he's again while he's still alive. And my list of people I'm close with is, potentially grows shorter every single night. Yeah. If I were to lose you, eventually I'll lose Dad, and then what family do I have? The hell with that. If I can live for a long time and maybe eventually make a difference, why not? Why not turn this fucking curse into a blessing? But you can't survive long enough if you always act alone, or if you always shut people out, or always shut people down. And that supposed cooperative group I was working with a night or two ago, they didn't even take into consideration anything I said or anything I tried to do to try to calm the situation down, to try to keep the situation a little more quiet. That's my point. You know? I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? You know?
Yeah, we just have to make it a blessing. We can't dwell on what we are, whatever. If we can do something positive. I don't know.
Well, start small. You know? What you said the last time, or when I actually got to finally meet Mr. Blanchet. You know what? He had a good point. You should take his advice. You know, if you wanna work at a pawn shop or maybe eventually own it, do it. Make it happen. However, you have to make it happen, but just don't sacrifice whatever morals you still have. The best parts of yourself to do it.
Send nods. Well, I guess the first step is, well, at least learning a little bit about. Well, I guess I can always Google it, right? I think. You can Google a lot of things, can't you? I don't know, you're the computer-y person, not me.
You can learn a lot from the internet, but you have to disseminate the good information from the garbage, and there's a lot of garbage. There's a lot of false positive information.
And there's a lot of different kind of garbage too. But my morally sound brother doesn't look at any of that garbage, right? And she kind of smiles at that.
Oh, gee, thanks, sis. Jesus, I'm moral. I'm not prude. God, you act like I've never watched porn or haven't gotten laid. Holy shit. Thanks. You give me so little credit. You know, maybe I should actually have you go talk to my I don't know, I guess my now ex-girlfriend. I'm sure she can tell you some stories. But I'd rather not do that. It's safer. It's safer if no one else in the society knows where she lives. It's the least I can do.
Seriously, though, that's good advice. Keeping the garbage out, the bad information, the people who don't really know anything about what you need to do to run a business. They just think they do. They've never actually held a job in their life. They're just, college kids that have living off their parents' paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, also, I suppose some of it would come from experience. Can't hurt to start, though. Get a basic working understanding of how things tend to play out. I wouldn't want to own a pawn shop and then it fails because I don't know anything about selling.
Well, it doesn't apply, and it doesn't apply in every circumstance, but um, there was a oh man, a fucking Greek philosopher from like way back, like we're talking like before Christ, who said that poverty breeds crime. Well, that's always true. But what only applies to, I'm going to say, maybe a generous low percentage amongst people who become poor, is that laziness can breed poverty and failures. So, I mean, I'll I'll help teach you how to better, you know, how can we say? No. I'll instruct you in better methods of Google Foo. And he does a kind of, with his hands, kind of a and kind of makes that sound. Um, and just, put time and effort, learn, read everything you can. You don't have to nerd out or geek out or anything. Just be attentive. Put the effort in to the venture. Learn as much as you can. You'll probably be successful.
She nods.
Don't lose sight of what's really important. And don't lose sight of me. Otherwise, I'll hunt you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, we wouldn't want that to happen.
Neither would I. It would suck to be a ghost, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't be able to touch anyone.
Although it would afford me some other interesting hobbies.
My brother the voyeur? Ghost?
Funny. Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, maybe I should just wait until you bring some guy back home or back to the apartment, and maybe I'll rig a camera in your bedroom.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Plus, I really don't want to see my sister getting laid. No, it's just creepy. Ugh.
I don't know, I could Google food onto your computer.
It would take a little bit more than that to accomplish that aim, but that's creepy. Okay.
I'm kidding, nothing like that exists. Good lord.
What? Putting some kind of computer or some kind of content on another person's computer?
No, the content itself that I was referring to.
Well, at least Dad'll never be shocked.
Yeah. I think he'd be proud of me.
Yeah. At least he can go about his days and sleep well at night, knowing that his daughter, my big sister, is not a nasty, cum guzzling porn star.
That is true.
Although, if you ever did go into that business, I'd beat the shit out of you. And when he says that, he looks intently at you with not a smile on his face.
Sin kind of looks almost wanting to say that she'd love to see him try, because she'd love to see him try, but
but she kind of has that look on her face.
That look of right, or you try. She just kind of raises an eyebrow at him, like, okay. That's not going to happen, but still.
Sound sure of yourself. What? Because I'm just a pushover?
Oh, you're not a pushover.
Also, well, and he kind of picks his coffee up and puts his laptop bag over his shoulder, takes another sip. God, that tastes good. And he kind of pauses, looks back at you. I'm gonna go use the restroom, and what do you say we get out of here? And I don't know, go. I don't know. Engage in some high impact exercises at one of the parks in the face. What do you think? We could talk more there.
Yeah, why not?
Edwin, on his way to the restroom, tosses his cup in one of the garbage cans. And for the moment, that leaves Sin at the table with her own thoughts. What is going on in the mind of Sin at the moment?
Sin kind of sits back, drinking her coffee. Yeah, it's all fine and good, but not everyone deserves that chance. Not everyone deserves. Fuck it, he wouldn't understand. I'm not gonna lay that on him. She kind of listens as the song comes back on. She kind of listens a little bit while Edwin is peeing. She's like, temporary blood. What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, is that? Oh. This doesn't sound good. It's probably nothing. I won't tell anyone, but I'll at least remember to Google it. Was it Rodney? What kind of fucking band name is Rodney? Good God.
A few minutes later, he walks back out of the bathroom, back to the table. He says, "You got your bike with you, right?"
Every day.
All right, let's go on to the park. We can talk a little bit more, and then maybe, I don't know, climb some trees, maybe do a little jogging, maybe a little boxing. Why not?
Sin nods. She heads to the restroom herself and then gets on the bike.
Fast forwarding a little bit. After about, say 20 minutes, the two arrive at a park that, Edwin is fairly familiar with. Just outside of the you say, playground area. There's a very large, prominent birch tree in the park. It's actually one of the biggest trees in this particular park, and one of the how can we say, best maintained. Probably some kind of plaque near it, or on the trunk or something. And when Sin finally gets off her bike, and takes her helmet off, Edwin continues. So recently, one of the Nosferatu around that I've been chatting with and becoming acquainted with, he made an interesting proposition. He wants me to be involved in a coterie with him. I don't know if you know what that is.
It probably doesn't have anything to do with winter outerwear.
No.
But go on.
It's like a few kindred getting together, and like if there's something that needs to be worked on or something that needs to be handled, they work cooperatively. You know what I mean? Like a team. It could be formed for any reason. Well, I'll bring it up to him. That I have another prospective member in mind, but I think it'd be good if you got in on it as well.
Huh. That would be cool.
I don't know if you've met Adam.
Actually, I have. First time I met him, well, I can't remember who she was, but some person was poking fun at him. It was just ridiculous, but I was too shy about other kindred to say anything about it.
You shy?
Well, hey, I'd only been like part of the club like 2 months. Now it's more like 4 or 5.
Doesn't mean you suddenly revert and become introverted.
Now I know that.
Ah, my sister, the introvert. We'll have to bust you out of your little shell.
She kind of punches the air. Actually, I think I can kind of get out myself. Physically just push it out of the way.
Is that what you told your cellmate a few times, that she kind of pinned you to the floor? And he just gets this playful wry smile on his face, like you know what he's suggesting.
She looks kind of firing one back at him. I don't know. I was the one doing the pinning. Okay, let's get that straight.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, that gross. Oh. And that same wry smile, he just kind of shakes himself from neck down. It's just like, oh.
Which makes Sin's smile get even bigger, of course.
Right.
Sin looks up at the tree. The dead branches kind of like fingers across the night, or something like that. Sin just keeps trying to think of these things that are just poetic and then fails at it. But she doesn't say them out loud. She kind of looks. It's like, huh. Maybe I could write a song about it. But I don't know anything about songwriting. About this tree and how it is. I don't know. See, I'm lost on songwriting. I can't even describe a dead tree in the winter. No, I suppose I could get better at it, though.
Yeah. So, even though I'm, I haven't brought this up to him yet, but I will. I'm going to push for it as much as I can. But, being amongst the coterie, that means, anything that's like us related. And he kind of does that quick air quotes. He doesn't hold it up in his hand. He doesn't hold it up in the air like this. It's just kind of low and quick. When he says us related, like if one of this group, hears something that, could be like rule breaking, we bring it up with the others, that way there's more people working towards something, and that's pretty much what coteries are for. It's like, it's groups of kindred working to make sure that, the whole society thing is secure, makes the really, really old ones feel better, especially when, the younger kindred take care of it. Yeah, it's like the children taking care of the old folks.
Sounds interesting, certainly.
On an interesting side note, like, something struck me odd, like when I met that the prince, right? That prince guy, that new guy, right? It didn't immediately hit me then, but then I kind of, the thought would reoccur once in a while. Do you know how old that guy is? Like the new prince?
I hadn't thought about it.
What was it? I think he actually said something. He actually mentioned a year. It was like 1066, something like that, right? Like way back when. That guy's like over 1,000 years old.
That's
how the fuck?
Really old.
Yeah. Just like, I had to get that off my mind. I just had to do it. It's just like, like, how in the hell do you even like keep your sanity for that long? I just don't get it. After he says that, he just kind of let me see. To be fair, let me just make a Dex Athletics roll real quick. After saying that, and just kind of like doing the whole, oh my god, he tries to run up, or kind of like hot-footed, kind of jump up the tree to try to catch a branch, and miserably fails, falling flat on his ass. And do a chance die. Luckily, when that happens, he manages to like quickly pull his laptop bag to where it lands on top of him, and he catches it from like banging against his body.
Sin looks down at Edwin, like, oh, were you trying to do this? And she runs up in what would be the most hilarious botch ever. She botched.
Actually, what's her athletics?
2.
And her strength is a 2? Don't roll for it. Don't roll for it.
Okay.
Go without a roll. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she kind of jumps up, or almost. Honestly, she probably reaches and then lightly hops because she's almost 7 feet tall. And then she kind of pulls herself up really easily.
Yeah, like doing a chin up on one of the branches just to show off.
Yeah.
Edwin gets up from that and brushes himself off. It's like, okay, I'm a little athletic. I'm not that athletic. You don't have to rub it in my face. God.
Oh, you can always get better. I think, well, part of it is I'm really quick. I'm really strong. I give that the credit, not my natural ability.
Well, what would you suggest I do differently trying to climb a tree? You know, as he looks up from his 5'8" stature up at Sin.
She's quite a bit higher than normal, but he's already used to looking up at her.
Right?
Well, maybe trying for a lower branch?
Is there anything different I should do with my handhold and footing?
She kind of jumps down, looking at where he was exactly jumping up.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you're probably looking at him when he did that. So you notice that he tried, like he was just, like he was grabbing around the tree with his hands kind of flat palm against it, like he was trying to grip the side of the tree like a ball, like a basketball perhaps, and just kind of like grab higher than his head and then jump up to pull himself, and then reach out one hand real quick to a branch, kind of like to do a monkey hang. Go from like a jumping hug around the tree to a monkey hang off the branch. Very reminiscent of monkey bars, actually. The way he was doing it. Which, as you well know, that's not how you climb a tree.
Yeah, Sin, to make up for the deficits in her player's understanding of climbing a tree, she points out that it's kind of a bad way to get a first grip on a big tree. And it kind of gives a few hints that don't revolve around being 7 feet tall and able to just kind of reach the branch. It takes her some translating, but
Edwin looks back at the trunk of the tree and looks for some areas that maybe he could use as like hand and foot holds. Let's see. There really aren't any on this tree. Like, for as old a tree and as big a tree, the trunk is remarkably, how can we say it, smooth and with like no knots in the trunk. But he kind of thinks about it for a little bit, puts one hand against it, and then another, and then tries to like use the side of his foot at an angle to kind of leverage himself while trying to, how can you say it, like almost like clawing at some of the bark to use that as a handhold, which is, it's kind of like rock climbing. You know, you have your fingertips gripping and you're using pretty much mostly forearm and hand strength to do it. And he tries again, kind of moving his laptop bag more to his more to the side of his body, not the back of his body. And this time, like, it takes him a good 10, 15 minutes before he tries. Like, he tries a couple different ways of holding his hands. Like, you can tell he's thinking about the science of this whole thing or something, you know, trying to get the physics right or some shit. And after that, like 15, 20 minutes, you know, trying to figure out the best way, he scales it actually rather quickly. Not gracefully by a damn sight, but a lot quicker than even you would expect. And before you know it, he's sitting up there in between two branches. And now you're looking up.
Sin looks up at Edwin and is like, this doesn't happen too often. Me having to look up to see someone. I wonder if this is how the rest of the world feels. She kind of rubs her chin. Fake thought, in like a kind of a fake, trying to pretend to be thoughtful about it.
Wow.
She reaches up and kind of hops back up the end of the tree.
Get used to it, girly, because I'm going places. Okay. I won't climb too high. And I'll try not to become like snobby and pretentious. Lazy people.
Well, I mean, you can't become a Toreador, can you?
No, not really. No.
Okay, so I think you're safe from being snobby and pretentious.
Well, I mean, I guess I could try. I don't know.
Please don't.
Do you think Bart knows how to do that?
What, climb a tree?
No, be snobby and pretentious. Maybe I could talk to him.
He could teach you, probably. He could probably teach you all about cars and really old ways of doing things. I bet the dude has a rotary phone, for crying out loud.
You know,
it wouldn't surprise me.
You know, I think you might be onto something. And people think that you can't, that you don't have the capacity to, you know, for higher thought. Shame on them.
Sin takes a notebook out of her inside pocket and kind of writes a few things down. Well, yeah, I think I will take that challenge of the pawn shop. I mean, I might try to find one that doesn't do jewelry. Unless she kind of thinks she gets a real thoughtful look on her face. I wonder if gloves would stop that feeling. Huh. Well,
What feeling?
can't hurt the silver I told you about. The silver necklace. Wonder if I can block it with gloves. I don't know. Haven't tried.
Maybe.
It could potentially hurt to try, but in this case, but yeah, can't hurt to try.
I think it might look a little weird if a pawn shop owner is always wearing. Well, maybe not. You could always wear like blue nitrile gloves, or like more like clear, unpowdered, like hospital type gloves. Maybe that would work. Let's see. Why do you wear really big gloves? Oh, you don't want to leave fingerprint smudges on the jewelry.
Of course.
Yeah.
I want you to have a clean necklace when I give it to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Unsoiled earrings when you put it in that, or when you put them into those holes in your head.
I think that's how earrings work. Yeah, anyway.
Well,
There's the pinchy ones and the pokey ones.
I think, maybe it wouldn't hurt to, like, I don't know, kind of girl out a little bit and wear some jewelry. Find a pair of actual earrings that you like.
I found that necklace that reminds me of Mom. I don't think there's going to be jewelry that reminds me of Dad, though. Because, well, I don't know. Depends.
Maybe. Maybe something Greek, maybe. Like where Grandma and Grandpa on his side. That might be kind of cool, something kind of Greek style. But and Edwin kind of gets kind of scoots himself back to the edge of the tree, grabbing a branch. Well, let's see. Oh wow! He grabs a branch, and he literally swings himself down from the branch a little bit, and hops down from the tree. Let's go ahead and head home for the night. Well, how about tomorrow night we go to the gym and get some more exercise in? Then I won't have my laptop with me.
Yeah, let's go. I got some Googling to do anyway.
Yeah, and I can help you. I'll even let you use my computer.
And Sin and Edwin return, and Sin Googles some things with her Google flu, and
go ahead and make it.
She finds some stuff. She starts Googling the band Rodney, just because it's something.
Is that a 9 and a 10?
It's a 9 and an 8.
One success. Usually computer rolls are like they're pretty high.
Well, this is just Googling.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as like finding some stuff, there's one success for anything that could be, how can we say, touchy?
Okay. Yeah, she's just doing a basic Google search. Yeah, maybe that weird song I heard. I'll Google that. So she, as Sin practices her Google foo, I guess the scene can come to an end. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. If you watch.